Where are we now?
So we're at the war grave section of Stonefall Cemetery in Harrogate.
And what are we doing today?
So this is the 6th year that I've done this Candle for Heroes vigil, where we place a candle on every war grave within the cemetery and also within the main part of the cemetery. So there's over 1,000 war graves, and we want to remember each and every one of them for the sacrifice that they gave.
And it's been running 6 years now then. What made you want to start it in the first place?
I have a son who's a serving soldier in the Yorkshire Regiment, but I'd also seen that in Belgium every year the school children go to one of the big cemeteries over there, and on a Christmas Eve they do it, and they put candles on every grave. So that gave me the idea to do it here in Harrogate. So I contacted Elizabeth, and then, as I say, this is the 6th year now. So each year it gets, bigger and bigger, and we get more people coming to remember the sacrifice.
So this is a really beautiful ceremony, and it's one way that the people of Harrogate can show the high regard that they hold those who sacrificed their lives during the Second World War for the freedoms that we enjoy today. So here at Stonefall we commemorate over 1,000 casualties, most of them from the Second World War. The vast majority of them are aircrew who lost their lives in training exercises or on operational flights during the Second World War, and they've been buried here. There are over 900 graves just in this plot, and over 600 of those graves are Canadian, so they're a long way from home.
Herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy among.
So the Bomber War was fought largely by young civilian volunteers. As you will have seen when you've gone round, nearly every grave in this plot is one of Air Force grave. The majority of those civilian volunteers were in their teens or early 20s. During the whole of the Second World War, 51% of aircrew were killed on operations, 12% were killed or wounded in non-operational accidents, and 13% became prisoners of war or evaders. Only 24% survived the war unscathed. Today we particularly remember Sergeant John Gregory Hayden, aged 21, and Sergeant Robert Kenneth Rye, aged 19, who were both serving with the Royal Air Force Volunteer Reserve and who lost their lives on this day 80 years ago. With a crew of 8, they were on board a Lancaster bomber from 101 Squadron, which had taken off from RAF Ludford Magna in Lincolnshire on the evening before for an operational flight to bomb Berlin. On their return, in the early hours of the morning, they were hampered by poor weather, as were all the other aircrafts on the raid. Thick fog, which was down to ground level, covered most of Lincolnshire and Yorkshire, and it resulted in numerous flying accidents. So this crew were diverted north from Lincolnshire, from their base in Lincolnshire, to land in Yorkshire. And it's thought that they were probably heading for RAF Home on Spalding Moor, which is east of York. While they were trying to find somewhere to land the aircraft, they crashed at 0027 hours on the morning of the 17th of December 1943 near the village of Eastington, which is between Selby and Goole. It appears to have descended into the ground and crashed. Sadly, all 6 at the front of the aircraft were killed, while the 2 air gunners further back survived. The families of 2 of those 6 chose to have their sons buried here. So their graves are over in that section over there behind me. Andrew and Rita Rye, the parents of Sergeant Robert Kenneth Rye, who remember was just 19 years of age, chose this inscription for their son's headstone. In loving memory of our dear son Bob, we, the many, salute you, the few. And that's what we, the many, are doing today. We are saluting the few.
Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-spoiled clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of, wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence, hovering there. I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, where never lark or even eagle flew. And while the silent, lifting mind I've trod, the high untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God. And Alderman Newby could come up.
I have two messages from the mayors of our twin cities, our twin Commonwealth cities. The first is from the mayor of the city of Wellington, Tory Farnow. Tena Kutu. Tonight I would like to acknowledge all those who fought and died defending an individual's right to freedom. We gather for this ceremony of remembrance to honour those who died and are buried here. Amongst the fallen are 23 New Zealanders, including 4 young airmen from Wellington, Terence McKinley, Alfred Churchill Lockyer, Charles Agnew and John Matthew Stack. They all paid the ultimate price for the benefit of future generations. While we look back at the impact of historic events, it's important we continue to remember the fallen and the sacrifices they made. Current conflicts around the globe illuminate this very point. Wellington's sister city relationship with Harrogate celebrated its 70th anniversary this year. It reinforced that we are close friends, united by our shared past in events like this ceremony of remembrance. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2024. And the second is from the Mayor of Barry in Ontario. Dear friends in Harrogate, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Barry, I extend our deepest gratitude for inviting us to share in the annual Christmas Candelit service at the Commonwealth Graves Commission. Even from afar, the impact is a powerful one. This moving service, where candles illuminate the resting places of the brave, resonates profoundly with our city. As we remember and reflect, we acknowledge the special connection between our communities. Over 600 members of the Royal Canadian Air Force, including Flying Officer William Howard Porritt from Barry, are interred at Harrogate. Their sacrifice is etched in our shared history, linking us across borders. Flying Officer Porritt, born in Barry, stands as a poignant reminder of the ties that bind us. His legacy, and that of all who served, inspires us to cherish the values of peace and unity. I express my deepest condolences and stand in solidarity with the people of Harrogate in recognising the significance of this ceremony in fostering remembrance and strengthening the bonds between our communities. As the candles flicker, may they carry the warmth of our shared gratitude. In this season of goodwill, I will be encouraging my community to join in remembering the Canadian servicemen during our local Christmas events. Let us together honour their memory and celebrate the spirit of unity that transcends time and distance. With heartfelt appreciation, Alex Nutt.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, We will remember them.
We will remember them.
I'm here because this is now a regular part of the Remembrance calendar for our district, and it's a powerful and personal service, but also quite different in nature to some of the other Remembrance services that we have. And you can see from the lights around us, as the light is dimming, the lights from the candles become ever more powerful, and that reflects the sort of the metaphor of lights not going out as we remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. So I'm here to honour those whose lives we are commemorating today.
Yeah, Ossett and one Deno, which are nowhere near.
Yeah, it's the churchyard of Bond.
Right.
That's like one of the ones on there.
Yeah.